Okay, for task 1, I created the graphics object texture. It has a pointer to the texture, and then it gets set, and it manages it. So if I use it, here's a graphics object. Texture is loaded, and it gets a pointer to it. So let's see it. And there it is. Okay, task 2. Is the graphics object color with light. So the graphics object manages the material properties, and it gets sent at render. And then in DXApp we set the light, and we use the graphics object. Okay. So just the cube is the graphics object. I just put the planes in there because I thought it made a better lighting demo. So I brought them back. Okay, let's move on to texture. Task 3, texture. Okay, so same thing, except now there's a pointer to this texture. And wait for the button to come in. There it is. I guess I shouldn't have had it move. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Task 4 was the multiple meshes. So color light gave us an example. Is this start? Yeah. Color was the one where there was an example, and we had a vector for, or a vector array for mesh colors, which one could be set. And then we did that in DXApp. So then similarly in the texture graphics object, I had the array for mesh textures, and then a set texture method so that each mesh could be assigned the texture. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So I load the textures. I loaded 4 of them, so you could see 4 different textures. And then in the texture object, we loaded them here. And then same thing with the graphics object color light, except I accounted for the materials. And then similarly with the texture light graphics object, I accounted for the textures and the set materials. So I'm just going to play the demo now. And we have our 4 meshes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the doors in the back. And I just put in the textures we already had. Okay, so then as you can see, this one is color, no light texture, no light, color with light, texture with light. And that's that one. So for further work one, if we needed to allow different shaders in the graphics object, I would start by, let me pull up one of these as an example so I can point at stuff. I would start by having the shaders I'm going to use in the header file. And when the object is initialized, it would be passed in those shaders. I'd probably write some kind of a set shader method so that I knew which mesh uses which shader. And then for the shaders that use light, I'd probably just write separate, where's the light? I'd probably just write separate set directional light parameters color and set directional light parameters texture, just to distinguish those shaders in the prototypes. There's probably a better way to do that, but I'd probably just do that first and then figure out a way to optimize it later. Now, lastly, in the render section, I would use that set shader method that I talked about earlier to make sure the right one is being used. So that's how I would start with that, and then as I tried it out, I would probably find out what I missed. But, yep. Thanks!